Hey guys, welcome back and happy Friday everyone. So today I was a little bit nervous because it's Friday after Veterans Day holiday, which was yesterday, and then obviously tomorrow is markets closed, it's weekend. So I was thinking, it's kind of like that little bit of a gap day where I feel like a lot of people might be taking off. Sometimes those days really do have kind of slow market opens and the rest of the day and everyone's just ready for weekend, but sometimes, like myself, people just want to get in as much action as they can early as possible before they leave. And I feel like that's exactly what we had today. Where pre-market, we actually had some pretty decent moves. A little bit later pre-market, but it was still okay. And I ended up having a huge percent green day. I've been trading very small size lately. So dollar amount, it's still a very small day. It's a little frustrating. But percentage-wise, I think I had almost a 20% green day, maybe even over a 20% green day based on my average position size, because near the end of the day, I traded smaller and smaller and smaller size. In the Discord this morning, unfortunately, Colby had one of those trades where 10%, he had like a 10% winner, but really small size, and he, went full size or, half size, or he sized up like he should. Unfortunately, the next trade, it was like a small loser and he gave back all of his profits. And that is something that all traders can experience with, where you have, a big winner percentage-wise, but it's a small size, and then you have a small loser percentage-wise, but it's a big position size, and you give back all those profits. I know it's happened to me more times than I could ever remember or count. It's insane. So what I was trying to do today is trying to figure out, and what I've been trying to do is how do I address that issue? And one thing is, start, mid-size or sometimes in the morning a little bit smaller, but if it's a good setup, go half size or go full size pretty quickly. It's all about this setup, right? If it's good setup, trade it aggressively. And then once you're up over 5% on the day or whatnot, start sizing down, especially as you start trading patterns you don't like, as you start trading time periods you don't like. So as the market was, or as we were getting closer to 9 o'clock, I started sizing down. And yesterday I stopped trading way too early. Yesterday I stopped trading, I think it was like right before a lot of the good moves pretty much. And I was a little bit bummed about that. So today I was like, let me just keep trading till I start giving back profits. And when I start giving back profits, it's not going to be a big deal because I'm going to trade with really, really small size. Now today I took it to the extreme. I was literally trading with like 100 shares at one point on a $2 stock. So I was like trading $200 share size. I think it was almost not even worth it. But at the same time, it was kind of nice because it kind of kept me to not be like, oh, I'm not going to trade that, I'm kind of done. It just kept me like, boom, let's trade this, let's trade this, let's trade this. And I think that added, an extra few percentage to my overall P&L. So I think that really helped. And it also allowed me to not really it allowed me to not unnecessarily stop. So I was just trading constantly until I kind of noticed that the market was slowing down and the tickers we were seeing started hitting their top. So let's dive into those tickers that we were trading today and just keep everything I said pre-market in mind. I'm starting off decent size as long as there's a good setup, and then slowly reducing my size throughout the day. So let's actually go here to the trading screen. I think that's up. So yeah, I'm up 925 right now, and that's after giving back like percentage-wise, a lot of profits. Position-wise, not a lot. I think I gave back like $40 on CYTO, but I was trading with, and I was up $80 on CYTO, which is really funny to talk about because percentage-wise, I was up a lot on CYTO, but because I was only trading CYTO because with like 100 shares, I think my biggest size on CYTO was 400 shares, and that was of course my loser. So it's just like what I did was just get more and more risk averse as I knew I was going to stop trading, because I don't like taking those big sizes right before I know I kind of want to be done with trading anyway, and then start giving back like half of my profits right before the end. To me, it just makes me extremely emotional and annoyed. Before we get into the trades, I want to give you guys a quick reminder that later today I'm going to have an interview with two community members in our Discord, Bren, who is a moderator, and Jen, who is a very avid options trader. Both of these community members love trading options, and they've been doing really, really good with a strategy called, or known as, selling covered calls. And Without a surprise, the community has picked up to that and has been asking them a lot of questions. So to help give back to the community, they have agreed to doing an interview with me about their trading strategy, and we'll be coming out with that video later today. So if you guys are interested in trading options, especially selling covered calls, a really consistent and reliable, almost a long-term strategy, definitely stay tuned for that. And if you're totally new, don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell icon to be notified when that video comes out. All right, guys, let's go back to the trading recap. So let's go through all these tickers, and I'll start with RLX. This was actually the first ticker I traded today, and actually then maybe we could talk about some swing trades that I just closed as well. So RLX, God, why am I having such a hard time saying that? RLX, let's pull it up here. On the daily, backside ticker, a lot of resistance, not super high relative volume today, but kind of higher for the fact that the market just opened up. Let's see what happens. Technically, it has some upside potential. I wasn't really looking at the stats. Tobacco company here, and price target of $6 came out. I don't care about price target news. Anyway, RLX, big first extended hours move, and then a lot of consolidation here. I tried to trade this on a pullback link for continuation. That didn't work, and I pretty much stopped looking at this one ever since. I just didn't find a lot of interest in this ticker, and I kind of moved on, and it's not even really worth talking about. XL, I have a buy order on this one. This is a swing trade that has gone very well, but I missed taking profits on it twice, and I kind of sold for a small win. Obviously not in this account. I just have a limit order here to kind of remind myself about it. Yeah, so let's go. We'll talk about XL in a second here. So let's go to CYTO. XL is giving me a little bit of FOMO right now. Let's go to CYTO, because this is the ticker that popped up right near the end. And I think I traded this ticker somewhere in this. No, actually I didn't. That was a different ticker. So yeah, CYTO, this was kind of a fun one. On the daily, this thing is a bit of a disaster. Huge backside, and we did have a good high relative volume today, popping towards big resistance, and I knew $3. This is the place that this ticker could run to. But biotech here, or pharmaceutical company in the industry, 38 million market cap, 13 million shares outstanding. It's kind of everything we're looking for. It looks like it has some catalyst coming in here, but again, that's not really my focus so much. And this ticker popped up quick. All of a sudden it was up 20%, consolidated, and then ran up 60%. I didn't trade any of this move here. And I like I said, I don't really like trading the market open, so I usually just trade pre-market. Maybe at best I'll trade the, till 10 o'clock or till 10:30, but that's already kind of a lot of trading for me. So when this ticker popped up in the morning at the market open, I was like, I'm a gap and go trader. I'm a momentum trader. This is exactly what I should be trading, and I don't want to give unnecessary FOMO to myself later on. So let me just trade this one with a really small size. Let me see if I can just start getting comfortable again. Ever since I had my red week where I gave back all my monthly profits in 1 week, I feel like I've been a little bit on edge. So I was like, let me just get back into the game a little bit. So I started trading really small size on this one. I bought here I had the first pullback in this area. I just bought with 300 shares, so it's really not that serious. But I instantly I wanted to sell when I was red, right? I was like, gotta get out. But then I was like, I have a tiny size. And honestly, if this thing could flush 20%, it wouldn't even matter. This ticker could disappear right now, and it wouldn't even matter. That's how small a size I have. So I'm just thinking just relax and let's just see what happens. Pops up, and I do sell as we are approaching this former high. So that was actually a really good trade overall. Let's see here. This was like a 5% trade. So if I just did normal size, that would have been a $5,000 to $1,000 profit right there. And then this one pulls back here. I didn't get aggressive enough, but I bought in this candle, took another profit there. Traded a little bit of a pullback here. I think this was a scratch. Yeah, I don't know. It's like a scratch. But then I started accumulating here, and then bought on the way up again. And then this was like a perfect 12% trade. This was such a good trade right here. But again, 200 shares, so it's all really not that important. Then I buy this pullback, looking for that continuation. It doesn't happen, and then these two are red trades where I give back some profits. And like that, that's like how I used to trade all the time, totally normal. With all these trades, even with the losses, I probably would have made another maybe 100 or 1,000 or even $1,500 on the day, depending what kind of size I was using. I made $400 or $48 on it, just because I used really small size. But when you're kind of going in one of those mentalities where you start getting a little scared, to trade. In the Discord, someone said, scared money doesn't make money, and that's true. And I feel like lately I've been a little bit of a nervous Nancy trader, and it's kind of annoying because I'm a professional trader. That's how I make my money, and it's like it's weird when you get in these ruts because you can do better. So I'm happy that I just kind of forced myself to keep trading today. And I stopped trading when I started giving back profits. I stopped trading when I noticed this ticker is losing momentum. So I did everything right today on CYTO, just with really, really small size. So next time, instead of trading 100 shares or 400 shares, maybe I'll just do 1,000 shares. It still would be a tiny size, like 20% based on my ideal size. But that's a good way to get back into it. Now, pre-market, was a little bit different. I was actually trading normal size pre-market. I was trading I think my first trade was $10,000 position size. So that was quite okay. So let's go to MITQ. MITQ. This ticker popped up a little bit late, and I haven't really been watching it ever since the market opened. But yeah, daily chart, classic disaster, big resistance at 3.6, and let's see, entertainment company, 36 million market cap, 10 million shares outstanding. Looks like there has some catalyst coming out. Earnings yesterday. So I gotta say, all the statistics behind this company is exactly in our wheelhouse. This is what I like to trade. It's good to know that. Big, let's actually see here. So it was up on earnings 50%, but then it gave back pretty much all of that. I mean, ridiculous how much it gave back. Then it started finding a little bit of support zone and started popping up here. And that's when I started trading this one. I think this was, again, one of those tickers I took kind of smaller size on. Yeah, so okay, let me, if you're totally new here and you're always wondering what percentages or my normal size was, usually I would be trading $20,000 size. So this ticker being 3% is me basically trading 15% size, basically 15% of my full size. Sometimes when I size up a little bit more, to like, I don't know, to 1,200 shares, that's like 20% of my ideal size. So I'm still trading very small size on MITQ, but I'm getting aggressive. This ticker's popping up, a little bit of a front side here, and I just start getting aggressive, buying the pullbacks. I'm looking for continuation. I kind of stopped trading in this one at this area. I didn't really have that much hope in it, but then as it proved itself, I bought the pullback. At this point, there was just so much resistance on this ticker, and I didn't have super high hopes for it. But again, I kind of forced myself to keep trading. There's nothing worse as well than when you just kind of stop trading and everything keeps going. Okay, that's not that bad, but you do want to kind of keep pushing it, because ultimately this is my job. I shouldn't be staring at the charts and not trading if it's good action, because that's how I make money. So NUZE. This is the ticker that was the big winner today for sure. This was quite a nice one, and popped up. This was yesterday's big winner. And when pre-market there was nothing happening, the first thing you want to do is look at yesterday's big winners. And Colby called this one out great. He was like, guys, we should be looking at NUZE because that was yesterday's mover. There's nothing going on pre-market, so let's focus on it. Yesterday's big winner is not a lot to talk about, but I think my favorite thing about this ticker, catalyst-wise or statistics-wise, is the catalyst, and that's a small company has a big partnership with, in this case, U.S. Walmart stores. You could debate about how good the catalyst is, but ultimately, small company with a partnership with a large company, that's always one of my favorite catalysts, or the government, or some sort of FDA approval. I mean, those are usually the best. It's like a really easy to digest catalyst, and then you just go right to the charts. So let's go to the charts, and let's actually, so yeah, obviously, like we said, it was yesterday's big winner. It was up like 200%, 300% at one point yesterday. Then it consolidated, had this kind of weird bounce in the middle of the night, more or less, pulled back, and then it started popping up here. And this is when I started trading it. This is my first trade on the day. I was, this was like $12,000 position size, so a little bit more, not full size, but in that area. I bought the first pullback here and took some profits here, and boom, just like that, I was up $300. And then, I traded a little bit smaller size here because I don't really like the fact that I was trading a ranging ticker. At best, it was still backside, so I didn't really want to get super aggressive on this little mini front side, because overall it was still a pretty downwards trend. But it actually performed really well. The fact that I only did one tiny trade here, and I could have bought back and it ran up 13%, shows that I left a lot of money on the table. But it's fine. I'm up quite a lot percentage-wise today, and that's with leaving so much money on the table. That's with trading really small size. So if you guys are ever kind of in a rut like I have been, just reducing size, not too much, but reducing size a little bit and just still getting really aggressive. And when you feel like you should be trading, but you somehow can't get yourself to trade, then extremely reduce your size like I did with that 100 shares, because it kind of made me feel a little bit more comfortable and makes me excited for the next time we see something like that, as opposed to just not trading it at all and kind of getting more and more scared, more and more nervous. And the best way to overcome your fears is, obviously doing whatever you're scared of, right? Getting more used to that. And yeah, this one pulled back here a little bit, and at this point I'm still trading at very small size, looking for that continuation. That never really happens. And NUZE, I didn't want to trade this one at the market open. To me, I felt like we already had a good run pre-market, and there was a lot of resistance. And yeah, good thing I didn't, because this thing just constantly faked out to the upside. And I don't know how this is disgusting. This is horrible price action, and I'm proud of myself for not touching it, as opposed to CYTO, which I'm also really proud of myself for trading it, even though very small size. And it's actually kind of popping up here a little bit again. Kind of looks interesting. Could be a potential. Anyway, yesterday I sold. Let me go to my IRA account. I sold XL. It's not in this account anymore because we just sold it. That was a really decent trade, and part of me is a little sad that I already sold it, because I sold it at 5.1. And that was yesterday in this area, and actually ends up going another 3%. And I had a $20,000 position size on this one, so 3%. That's leaving some profits on the table. We're talking, $600, $700, even, because I had a little bit over $20,000. So yeah, leaving some profits on the table. It is what it is. I think the annoying part about XL is twice I could have sold for about a $1,500 profit. Once here and once here. Somehow I really didn't walk away that great on it. The reason I sold yesterday, and I actually should have held in today, because today we had a little bit of wiggle room still, was because Monday earnings were coming out, and I don't want to hold into earnings. I don't care about trading earnings. I will trade in anticipation of earnings. I will trade around earnings, but I'll never trade through earnings, because even if it's green, it could still sell off. There's almost no correlation between if a company does good on earnings and if the stock goes up or down. It's ridiculous. So I don't trade into earnings. And I think I sold just a day too soon. I kind of got that into my head just a little bit too much. And I should have, held a little bit longer into anticipation of earnings potentially being good. I think that would have been the play today. And I wouldn't be surprised if XL had a 10, 20, 30% move today. I honestly wouldn't. I don't know what's going to happen on Monday, but I'm happy I'm not holding through it. Probably it's going to just go up to $7. I'm going to have huge FOMO, but honestly, I don't care. That's a whole different chapter. The problem with my swing trades lately, like QS and so on and so forth, I've just been selling all of them so soon. Like, for example, QS. We had a great trade on this one. Good entry. It runs up 20%, and then I don't take profits. There's clearly huge resistance here, and I should be taking profits, especially if I know if I'm going to paper hand when it sells off. My original goal was to sell in this area, where technically now the price is in this area. So if I just held, that would have been a 50% winner, give or take, depending on where I sold into this area. So I had the right idea. It happened. I just fumbled out of it. So what I should have done, if I knew if it pulls back all the way down here and I get nervous, just take profits in this area, or just don't do anything. So it's like, if it goes in this area and I'm going to hold no matter what, then I don't have to take profits. But if I know I'm going to get shaky in this area, I should be selling with the intention of rebuying. Even if I rebought here at 25, I would have only been down 13% before running up 50%. So I could have made two good green trades on this one, or I could have rebought. So buying back on the 9 EMA, I could have rebought here, I could have rebought here, I could have rebought here. I could have traded this one multiple times. Well, at one point I just didn't have funds available because I was in XL and different tickers, but yeah, you get the point, man. The amount of times I've been fumbling my swing trades is ridiculous. Root, another classic example. I had a great entry. I talked about Root yesterday. We made a nice little trade on this one. I forgot to rebuy, or I didn't rebuy for whatever reason. And look at that, just beautiful bounce there. Another big winner, another ticker that was down 85% from its all-time highs, and had a huge short float or short interest. Yeah, just all nice things. So swing trading, I probably, knowing me, I think I just got to take profits quicker and then just rebuy. As long as everything else is still true, rebuy. I think that's what I need to add to my swing trade strategies. With my swing trading, overall, I'm very profitable on it, but I trip over myself a lot. So if I could somehow reduce tripping over myself by just like 10%, I think my profits would be much, much higher. So I'm still thinking about tightening up my rules a little bit with swing trading, but it's one of those things where I don't like to make new rules too quickly. I really like to give myself like months before I, add a new rule or something like that. But knowing my trading, I don't know, emotions and whatnot, usually taking profits and then rebuying is the best way to go. So lately, I just haven't rebought when I should have. So I think that was a bit of a fumble in my area. But yeah, overall, a good trading week for the fact that I was using really small size, and I'll just keep sizing up. And it's nice to end today, in the green, especially before the weekend, and just kind of walking away before I keep trading too long on a day like, between holiday and weekend. No need to force it. All right, sweet guys, that's all for this recap video. I'll see you then later today for that interview. Don't forget to drop a like on the way out, subscribe if you're new, and like always, stay safe and make some awesome trades. Ciao.